Welcome to the third lecture on axial flow compressors. Having completed the discussion on velocity triangles of axial flow compressors, let's now proceed and find out an expression for degree of reaction, which is denoted by capital R. The topic degree of reaction is extremely important in the context of axial flow compressors. Since basically axial flow compressors are multi-stage compressors, and we define the degree of reaction incorporating the stage of the compressor. Degree of reaction of an axial flow compressor can be defined as the ratio of change in static pressure head of air in one rotor stage to the change in total pressure head of air in one complete stage of the compressor. Mathematically, degree of reaction R is equal to change in static pressure head divided by the change in total pressure head. It is expressed in terms of enthalpy also. So, in terms of enthalpy, it is defined as in terms of enthalpy, the degree of reaction is defined as the ratio of change in static enthalpy of the fluid that takes place during a rotor stage divided by the total change in enthalpy, static enthalpy during one complete stage. As you know, one complete stage means it comprises of a rotor stage and a stator stage. See, the Euler's equation for turbo machineries expressed in terms of Euler's head is in this form, and this form is written for power absorbing devices like compressors and pumps. So HE is equal to V2 square minus V1 square by 2G plus U2 square minus U1 square by 2G plus VR1 square minus VR2 square by 2G. There are three terms in that, and the first term V2 square minus V1 square by 2G, that represents the change in dynamic pressure head of the fluid, whereas the second term U2 square minus U1 square by 2G, that represents the change in centrifugal pressure head, and the third term represents the change in relative velocity head. Remember, the third term is in the opposite order, and we have already discussed that in the context of axial flow compressors, the relative velocity at outlet is less than the relative velocity at inlet, and the absolute velocity of air at outlet is more than the absolute velocity of air at inlet. See, important to note that I am referring inlet and outlet, that is the inlet to the rotor blade and the outlet of the rotor blade, not the entire compressor. So, inlet of the rotor blade and outlet of the rotor blade, and we have discussed the velocity triangle for the axial flow compressors already, considering the flow over one rotor vane. So, the first term is representing change in dynamic pressure head, and the last two terms, second and the third term, collectively represents the change in static pressure head. Change in dynamic pressure head, as you know, that represents the impulse action or the energy transfer, and the change in static pressure head, that implies the energy conversion or energy transformation. Basically, in the context of compressors, conversion of kinetic energy into static pressure. Now consider the axial flow compressors, and you know that U1 is equal to U2 in the case of an axial flow compressor. So what will happen to the change in centrifugal pressure head? That will become 0 because U1 is equal to U2. So the change in static pressure head of the fluid, that in this case it's air, so that is solely contributed by the change in relative velocity head, that is VR1 square minus VR2 square by 2G. Let's find out an expression now. So degree of reaction R is equal to change in static pressure head of fluid over the rotor stage divided by total change in pressure head over one compressor stage. That includes one rotor stage and one stator stage. That is, symbolically you can write R is equal to 2 plus 3 divided by 1 plus 2 plus 3. See, 1, 2 and 3 are these three terms. And now the Euler head HE can also be expressed in general in terms of the whirl component of velocity of the fluid and tangential component of velocity of the blade at inlet to the rotor blade and outlet of the rotor blade. See, like this, HE is equal to VW2 U2 minus VW1 U1 divided by G. See, this actually is representing all the three terms, sum of the three terms together, 1 plus 2 plus 3. In fact, using the velocity triangles applied in the context of turbo machineries, we derive this expression as sum of the three terms given by equation number 1 here, that is from this one. In fact, VW2 U2 minus VW1 U1 divided by G. Both are the same. And now for axial flow compressors, you know that U1 is equal to U2 is equal to U. So U can be taken out. So that will become HE is equal to VW2 minus VW1 into U. So U is taken out divided by G. So let it be equation number 3. See, this Euler's equation is named as equation 2. See, now we consider the degree of reaction for axial flow compressor. Since 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3, that the second term will vanish here, because U2 square minus U1 square by 2G, that becomes 0, since U1 is equal to U2. So the only term that is remaining here representing the change in static pressure head as it passes over the rotor blade, that is VR1 square minus VR2 square by 2G. Then that divided by the total, the sum of the three terms. See that one, here we can express this in this form, that is better for us. Euler head HE is equal to VW2 minus VW1 into U divided by G. So just make a substitution. So what do you get? R is equal to VR1 square minus VR2 square. This G and G will be cancelled, and in the denominator you get 2 into VW2 minus VW1 into U. Now this is the expression. Name it as equation number 4. So degree of reaction, general expression. Even for solving numerical problem we may use it, but it is available in much compact and specified form, so that we are going to explore. Now you consider the velocity triangle over here. You are familiar with it. It's very simple one to understand. So from inlet velocity triangle, what we are going to do is now this expression 4 that comprises of VR1 square and VR2 square, then VW2, VW1. So we are going to replace all these 4 terms, VR1 square, VR2 square, VW2 and VW1, and replace it in terms of axial flow component. That's very important. The basic parameter involved in the context of axial flow compressor, the most important one is axial flow velocity, which is constant, we know, throughout the flow from inlet to the outlet of the axial flow compressor. So from the inlet velocity triangle, this VR1 square, see, please consider the inlet velocity triangle here. So just consider this right triangle now on the left side. So what is VR1 is hypotenuse. So use Pythagoras theorem. Hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus this altitude square. What is altitude? That is VF1. And base is, what is base? The total base is U1 minus this right side portion is VW1. So the base of this the triangle under consideration is U1 minus VW1. So please find out VR1 square. VR1 square is equal to base square plus altitude square. What is that? That is U1 square minus, U1 minus VW1. That is the base of that right triangle considered, that square plus VF1 square. Now we can get rid of the suffix for U1 and VF1, because after all U1 is equal to U2 is equal to U, and VF1 is equal to VF2 is equal to VF. But don't change the suffix of VW1, because they are distinct, VW1 and VW2. So U minus VW1 whole square plus VF square you will get. And again, What is tan theta? So, you find out tan theta, tan of the vane angle at inlet. So, tan theta is equal to opposite side by adjacent side. What is opposite side? As you said, u1 minus vw1, that in fact u minus vw1. Then adjacent side is vf1. So, u minus vw1 divided by vf, that is equal to tan theta. So, cross multiply and get an expression for u minus vw1. So, u minus vw1 is equal to vf tan theta. See, in the expression for Vr1 square, you have u minus Vw1 whole square. So, you replace this u minus Vw1 by the term Vf tan theta. So, just substitute. So, Vr1 square is equal to Vf tan theta whole square plus Vf square. So, what do you get? Vr1 square is equal to, now take Vf common also you can take, but let it be. So, Vr1 square is equal to Vf square tan square theta plus Vf square. So, that is an expression for Vr1 square in terms of vane angle at inlet and the flow velocity component, axial flow velocity component Vf. Okay. Similarly, you obtain an expression for Vr2 square from the outlet velocity triangle. In fact, that you can do by yourself. Let me briefly explain that one also. You take tan phi from the outlet velocity triangle, from this small right triangle on the left side portion of the complete velocity triangle at outlet. So, this what is tan phi? Phi is the vane angle at outlet. So, tan phi is equal to opposite side. What is opposite side? u2 minus vw2 divided by adjacent side, that is vf2. So, that is tan phi. So, what do you get? Tan phi is equal to u2 minus vw2 divided by vf2. So, what is u minus vw2? U minus vw2 is equal to vf2 tan phi. You can get rid of the suffix for vf2 and this u2. In fact, you can write u minus vw2 is equal to vf tan phi. So, just substitute over here. Now, Vr2 square. How do you get Vr2 square? So, Vr2 square from this right triangle, use Pythagoras theorem just like we did in the previous case of the inlet triangle. Vr2 square is equal to u minus Vw2 whole square plus Vf2 square. So, u minus Vw2 whole square plus Vf square. So, u minus Vw2 is now replaced by Vf tan phi. So, if you substitute that, you will get Vr2 square is equal to Vf square tan square phi plus Vf square. So, you got two expressions for, now one expression for Vr1 square and second expression for Vr2 square. Now, consider Vw2 and Vw1 now. So, they also need to be replaced. So, how do you do that? From the inlet velocity triangle, you take tan alpha. What is alpha? Alpha is the guide vane angle at inlet. Tan alpha is equal to opposite side Vw1 by adjacent side Vf1. What is Vw1? Vw1 is Vf1 tan alpha. So, if you use that, Vw1 is equal to Vf1 tan alpha. Vf1 is in fact Vf itself. So, you can avoid the suffix. So, Vw1 is Vf tan alpha. Similarly, from the outlet velocity triangle, so here it is written tan beta is equal to Vw2 by Vf2. See, this tan beta is equal to Vw2 by Vf2. Beta is the guide blade angle at outlet. So, from that you get Vw2 is equal to Vf tan beta. So, you got expressions for now Vw1, Vw2, Vr1 square and Vr2 square. Now, come back to the equation number 4 for the degree of reaction. So, degree of reaction R is equal to Vr1 square minus Vr2 square divided by 2 into Vw2 minus Vw1 into U. So, please substitute over there. So, what this is a substitution. It's very simple, some algebraic manipulations only. So, you just substitute Vf2 square tan square phi, in fact you can write Vf square tan square phi plus Vf square, that is for Vr1 square, then Vr2 square. Since there is a minus sign in front of that, the sign of both the terms in the expression for Vr2 square will change. So, minus Vf square minus Vf square tan square phi minus Vf square divided by, and in the denominator what do? 2 into Vw2 minus Vw1 into U. Simply replace Vw2 and Vw1. Vw2 is Vf tan beta, Vw1 is Vf tan alpha. So, just substitute that. So once you substitute all this Vf square in the numerator will be getting cancelled. So the remaining is Vf square tan square theta minus Vf square tan square phi. Vf can be taken out common. So what is that? Vf square into tan square theta minus tan square phi. Then divided by denominator, Vf can be taken out. So 2 into u is outside, 2u Vf into tan beta minus tan alpha. So this is the expression written over here. R is equal to Vf by 2u into tan square theta minus tan square phi divided by tan beta minus tan alpha. Then it is titled as equation number 5 now. This is named as equation number 5. Then you know that for symmetrical blading, beta is equal to theta and alpha is equal to phi. So just use these values for symmetrical blading over here. So the denominator beta and in the denominator beta and alpha, that is a guide vane angles at inlet and outlet, can be replaced by this theta and phi. So what will be the relation now? So R is equal to, in the numerator, Vf into tan square theta minus tan square phi. Denominator, what we mean is 2u into, we write tan theta minus tan alpha. Instead of alpha, we write phi. So tan phi. See, the numerator is in the form a square minus b square, that tan square theta minus tan square phi. So you can write that a plus b into a minus b. So Vf into tan theta plus tan phi into tan theta minus tan phi divided by, in the denominator, you have 2u into tan theta minus tan phi. So tan theta minus tan phi will be cancelled. So what remains is the required expression now. Vf divided by 2u into tan theta plus tan phi is an extremely important relation in the context of axial flow compressors, representing the degree of reaction for symmetrical blading. So usually for an axial flow compressor, 50% degree of reaction is taken. That means 50% static pressure rise takes place in the rotor stage and the remaining 50% in the stator stage. That is the meaning of it. So that is an optimum one which we can use, which have several advantages. So R is equal to Vf divided by 2u into tan theta plus tan phi, named as equation number 6. That is the important equation for us. Now we will consider 50% degree of reaction that is usually used in the context of the axial flow turbines. So R is equal to, this is the relation Vf by 2u into tan theta plus tan phi. 50% degree of reaction, R is equal to 50% means 0.5. So that is Vf divided by 2u into tan theta plus tan phi is equal to 0.5. So just cross multiply and obtain a relation for u in terms of Vf. So you can connect the two important velocities in the context of axial flow turbines. Both are constants actually. U is the tangential velocity of the blade or the rotor, and Vf is the constant axial flow velocity component. So Vf into tan theta plus tan phi is equal to u, named as equation number 7. It's an extremely important relation even for solving numerical problems also. So now, but remember, this equation is used in the context of 50% degree of reaction. So work done per unit mass, that also can be slightly manipulated. So we have, in the earlier lecture, we have obtained an expression for specific work done per unit mass of air, Euler's work done. So that is Vw2 minus Vw1 into U. That quantity essentially is in joule per kg. Now what you do is Vw2 and Vw1 you can replace. And we already defined that Vw1 can be written as Vf tan alpha from the inlet velocity triangle, and from the outlet velocity triangle you can get Vw2 is equal to Vf tan beta. And if you replace this Vw2 and Vw1 by these two values, you can get Ws is equal to Vf tan beta minus Vf tan alpha into U. So you can take Vf outside. So what you will get? Outside the bracket you have U into Vf into within bracket tan beta minus tan alpha. And if you use the condition for symmetrical blading, definitely beta is equal to theta and alpha is equal to phi. You can write these guide blade angles in terms of vane angles at inlet and outlet. So what is the ultimate relation? So specific work done per unit mass of air is equal to U into Vf into tan theta minus tan phi, that much joule per kg. These relations are going to be extremely important when we solve numerical problems and to analyze when we analyze the characteristics of axial flow compressors. See, during the explanation towards the end, in one or two places, instead of compressors, I use the word turbines. I am sorry for that. See, we were referring to axial flow compressors, not turbines. Thank you so much.